Hey, Dad, can I ask you a question?
Go to it.
Well, we made it. We made it. Look at this. This is
made what?
This is the sickest setup we've had yet. This is like pretty much everything we've been talking about for so long.
And now it's here to stay, right?
I hope. I mean, it's going to require me to move back to Los Angeles. Why don't we just start where welcome back to Things You Should Ask Your Dad. My dad. Right
Hi.
There.
That's me.
That's Dad. Max, if you're a first-time listener, this isn't our normal setup. Where are we, Dad?
We are in an office building.
In an office building.
In a podcast studio, which is kind of fun. It's a friend of mine. And
it's very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we thank him.
Look at this setup, too. We got, this is our setup, our virtual setup's pretty great for what it's
you're
worth.
not looking at cracks in my wall.
I know.
You're not looking at the bike behind me.
I know.
So that's kind of nice.
And the dog in the corner.
Right.
Which reminds me of Harper's super dog or Crypto. What was his name? Crypto dog from
dog?
Superman?
Yeah. His niece's dog, right?
His niece's dog. Why don't we start there?
It
Superman.
made no sense. It made no sense, but the dog kind of made sense in Superman.
The dog. I think the dog totally made sense. I thought Superman was so fun. A lot of great movies have come out this summer so far.
Yeah, I enjoyed Superman quite a bit. And, I'm going to give something away right now, which I don't care because if you haven't seen it yet, oh well.
What are you waiting for?
But there was a line in the movie, I don't know if you caught it, where he said something about the glasses on Clark Kent.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, so he said something about the glasses on Clark Kent because as viewers, we have for the last 60, 70 years, we're like, how does no one know that Clark Kent is Superman? Right?
It's like this joke, this running gag.
But we see him as Clark Kent. You take off your glasses and you become Superman. But the glasses to the other characters makes him look totally different.
Right.
It's not the Clark Kent we're seeing.
Totally.
They mention it in one line. Oh, so that's what the glasses do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when they were in, they were talking about it.
Well, it's funny because I went with Damaris to see Superman, and she's never seen any of them. We loved it, of course. James Gunn did a great job. We particularly loved Lex Luthor. Nicholas Hoult did a great job. But the whole, I don't know. I guess the first scene where they're in what's his office building called? Planet. The Daily Planet.
Yeah.
They're in the Daily Planet, and she whispers to me. She's like,
"Oh," she says, "Just saying."
She says, she whispers to me in the theater and says, "Are they supposed to not know that's obviously Superman? Or do they not know that?" I'm like, yeah, they don't know, but surely everyone knows.
No, only Lois Lane knew.
Right,
and that was a new twist on it, which is kind of cool. Because in the other movies, she doesn't know.
And you know what else I liked about the movie? Because James Gunn, who directed it, wrote it, who's kind of revamping all of DC right now, it's just really cool. He had said during production that they're not trying to they don't want to retell the story. That's been done before. And so I love how the opening of the movie is 6 months since this happened, 6 days since this happened, 6 hours since this happened. Yeah. And then the movie starts.
The meta-humans.
Exactly. And you're like, yeah, what more do I need to know about Superman?
Yeah, he came from Krypton.
Right.
We know it doesn't do him well, the kryptonite.
Totally.
And, we know he's in Gotham. What city he's in? I don't even know.
Jeez.
What city
Not
is it?
Gotham. I don't know.
I think it's New York
Metropolis.
City. Metropolis, exactly.
Metropolis.
Stupid.
Come on. So, but a lot of good movies. I mean, Eddington came out, which I saw, which you got to see. Fantastic Four is out as we record this.
By the way, I got a text from one of our viewers.
Who?
Elizabeth.
Oh,
and
awesome.
She texted me it was a morning, 7:30 in the morning. She says, "I really didn't like Sinners."
Oh,
and
you're
so
joking.
I was like, all right, well, you're not going to like everything that we have to say.
Yeah.
And I said to your mother, I'm like, oh, check it out. I'm actually an influencer. And your mother looks at me and is like, you're influencing what? And I'm like, well, someone went to see a movie on my recommendation. They didn't like it. Oh, well. That was kind of funny.
So I actually don't understand the sinner's slander. Like someone else, I was with a friend today, and we're talking about all the movies that have come out this summer, how many good ones. Materialists is another one that I think you would really enjoy. And he's like, yeah, I saw Sinners. He was like, terrible. I go, what did you watch that I didn't? Like, what did you see that I didn't? Like,
Hey,
I don't know.
Listen, I like certain music. Other people don't like the music.
I know.
What music do I love? Where are we going tomorrow?
I know, it's crazy. So by the time you hear this, by the time you see this, we will have finished. We will be done with what we are venturing out to do tomorrow, which is the Grateful Dead 60th anniversary festival, concert, celebration of life and music and community and everything in between. And it's going to be epic in San Francisco.
Can't wait, man. 3 nights at Dead & Company.
3 nights.
It's going to be unbelievable. Every bar, every block, every club, they all have Grateful Dead cover bands.
Oh, wow.
Which we obviously don't have to go to because we're going to the original. And I am so looking forward to it. I've been listening to what the mayor's been saying about they expect 70, 80,000 people
really
coming into San Francisco for this.
80,000 people.
And I am super excited. I hope, and I wasn't there to begin with, I hope we're just transported into the 1960s. I mean, I have a visual of what that looks like.
Could be pretty special.
I hope it does. I hope it lives up to its expectations.
I'm sure it will. It's gonna be pretty amazing. We know obviously a lot of people going, and I'm sure we're gonna meet a lot of amazing people along the way. And I'm just excited for obviously the music and to be there with you and Mom and everyone else we're going with. And Brandon's flying in. Shout out Brandon, first show for him ever with the Dead, which is that's such a cool first show. Such a cool first
experience.
Show. But my real, I think the happiest I'm going to be is just being a little off the grid.
Yeah.
Just like, when we went to the Sphere, Shane and I went to the Sphere not too long ago, and like we turned off our phones for both shows. Like we brought our phones, but we were just like, let's just be in it. Yeah. We didn't take any pictures of anything. And like, honestly, with the amount of people that are meant to go to this show, like I can't imagine any photo we take will be worth taking.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of pictures on social media and the whole weekend, everything that's going on. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you where there won't be any pictures being taken by other people, and that is when I am bike riding through the Marin Headlands on Friday morning or Saturday morning, and I'm just all alone on the roads before we venture off into the city.
Your happy place.
So looking forward to that.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Got all my outfits picked out. It's going to be great.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
I packed the edibles, by the way.
Great.
Great. Just letting you know.
I might not even.
And lots of Celsius. There's going to be lots of Celsius there.
This episode's sponsored by Celsius. Go get your Celsius wherever you get them. Just had a great new flavor today. Pink lemonade non-fizz. Really great.
Oh, you're really doing that, huh?
It's really great.
Cool.
It's the Portnoy strategy. So I had a friend who listens to the podcast. He had said to me, he came to visit New York, and he's like, look, man, your podcast is so fun. I really, really like it. He's like, but I think a way that you might be able to grow this thing is through the Portnoy strategy. I was like, what the hell is that? And he's like, when Dave Portnoy was first starting out some of his work, he would just say that his stuff was sponsored by insert name of like favorite company.
Not illegal?
None of it was. Okay. And what he did is eventually it made him, I guess, get all these like random sponsorship deals because some of the brands started picking up on it, and we're like, we're not sponsored by, you're not sponsored by us. And he'd be like, great, but do you want to be? And like some of them, I think like it just took one company to bite, and they were like,
yeah. So, hey, Celsius, sponsor us, would you? Because
totally.
Also I have a crazy caffeine addiction, so I could use your help there.
Yeah, I'm actually a little tingly right now. I had 2 coffees and a whole can of Celsius, and it's a little much right now.
I love when my heart is shaking. So you got a text message this morning at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I
Tell
did.
me about it.
Okay, so I got a message this morning. Well, no. Okay, so I was woken up to a phone call at like 5 a.m. from a friend dear friend of mine. I've known her since kindergarten. She was like my first girlfriend in kindergarten. We're very close still, but we haven't talked in a few years. It's actually been a few years, which is like sad in a way, but also she's the type of friend where it doesn't matter at all, because when we do see each other, it's always like, no, those are real friends, Mm-hmm. And just one more thing to say about like real friends. It's like they're not the friends that are going to get annoyed when you like can't return a phone call or can't return a text. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like friends like that. They're like, oh, you don't reach out. And I'm like, doesn't mean I don't like you. It just like, I don't have time for those people. Anyway, so not whatever. Not whatever. Don't dismiss that. That's like,
I'm not dismissing you. I'm dismissing when people behave like that.
Yeah, it's just like I don't got time for that. So anyway, so she calls me like 5 a.m. my current time, because we're in LA right now, mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't answer, but I'm woken up by the call, and I like just text her right back. I'm like, is everything okay? She just goes, call me. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'll call you in a few hours. Like, I was like, I'll go back to sleep. Again, haven't talked to her in a few years. Long story short, I end up calling her back, and she's like, everything's okay. She's like, I just wanted to ask, are you in LA right now? She still lives in LA for reference. And I'm like, I am. And she goes, damn it. And I'm like, what? Like, she's like, Max, I'm in New York right now. She's like, it's my first time ever in New York, and I got your address from a mutual friend who had just gone to visit me. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I was literally a block away from your apartment. I was just going to knock on the door. She's like, but then I sort of remember you saying you were going to be in LA at some point at the end of the summer. So I kind of got cold feet and was like, oh, maybe he isn't there. That would be weird if I knocked on the door and he wasn't. She was going to surprise me, and I hadn't seen her in years. How freaking sweet is that?
Friends passing in the night.
Isn't that so kind?
Yeah.
But like the gesture is so kind.
Very nice.
It's so sweet of her. And
I thought when you originally told me, I thought someone died in your grade, in your age.
I thought it was something really bad.
We don't need that.
I thought it was something really bad, and I'm glad it wasn't. And yeah, she's the best. So I told her she's going to be actually back in LA while I'm still here. So I'm going to make some time to see her for sure. And then I have to give her a list of like some recommendations for while she's there. But I was like, I cannot believe you're in New York.
Recommendations of what?
Restaurants, activities, places to see.
So the guy who's been there for 4 months, he's giving out recommendations already?
She's never been there in her life.
Okay.
And I haven't just been there 4 months. I've spent the last 13 summers of my life there. Okay. It's the first summer I'm not at camp.
Hey, listen, I don't know anything in New York City anymore. I mean, I'm a visitor when I go.
Yeah.
You know, just them.
You are a visitor. So that was weird.
Can we talk about politics for a second? I have a funny story to tell you.
Here we go.
Funny story.
Here we go. Lock in, everyone.
So the whole, Republican versus Democratic thing.
What thing? There's always a thing.
There's always things, what the media boasts and all that stuff. So I have just a funny story. And so I have a customer who comes in every Monday.
Okay.
Even though we're closed, he comes in on Monday.
Every Monday.
And I'm very close with him. I've been good friends with him for 25 years.
Okay.
And, he changes some tires on his bike.
Okay.
Okay. And then I send him, we send him a receipt and a text saying your bike is ready.
Okay.
And he's a big Republican, right? Mm-hmm. You know who he is.
Yeah.
We've had lunch with him before, and I just don't want to name names.
Yeah.
And he, we're always, jabbing, and he's a big Trump supporter, and I'm always like, wow, are you crazy? Like we just go back and forth, and so he texts me. He's like, hey, my bike is ready. I said, all right. I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? And he's like, I'm just telling you, my bike's ready. He's like, and he says to me, he's like, they didn't he didn't replace both tires. And I'm like, you sure of that? Because I had given my mechanic both tires.
Oh.
And he's like, he only put on one tire and it's black.
Okay.
And I said, so you picked up the bike already? And you saw this? And he says, no. He's like, I haven't picked up the bike.
So how does he know?
So I opened up. I had the receipt because he sent me the receipt.
Yeah.
And I opened it and I saw what was put on the receipt. And I said to him, I said, do you read receipts the way you read your news? Do you only half-ass read it?
Right.
And he laughs. And then he says, okay, never mind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny because, those of us who read half the news, you get half the story.
Yeah, of course.
Simple as that.
It is funny. You know what else is not so funny, though?
What?
What happened on your bike ride today? That's scary shit.
It's scary, yeah.
You said your heart was pounding.
Yeah, my heart was pounding, but it also could have been the caffeine. Stupid. Yeah, I was in Griffith Park and I ran into a mountain lion and its cub.
Jeez.
And I was probably 10 feet away from it.
How big is a mountain lion?
Mountain lion's like 6 feet long, 5 feet long, and thick, and the cub was maybe 2 feet long, and they were both scurrying up a little hill, and my heart rate went up, and I rode away from them like as fast and as steady as I could with my head turned over my shoulder just to make sure it wasn't chasing me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. But and then I warned a few hikers, and then I stopped a park ranger and I told them exactly where I saw it, and he's like, we'll scope it out because they definitely want to keep an eye on mountain lions because a mountain lion died in the park a few years ago. It was called like P22. And there's a big ceremony for it because they're rare to come by. They're definitely rare to come by. You don't want to, have an incident with one, but it was pretty wild. And the park ranger was like, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate that."
I'd love to see a picture of a mountain lion. I'm gonna look one up right now.
Really, you gonna look one up right now? While we're on air,
People do this. Yo, that thing is huge.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a
big person.
Holy crap!
Can you imagine how fast that shit is? Yeah.
Oh, that is scary.
Very unsettling to see.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but and then I saw about 10 minutes later, I saw a guy walking a bunch of dogs. He was a dog walker. And I'm like, I wouldn't go down there. So.
Meanwhile, speaking of dogs, did I tell you about? I don't know if I told. I really don't think I told you this. I got bit by a dog in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have rabies now?
Well, no, but. I told Mom on the hike yesterday or 2 days ago, and she's like, she freaked. She's like, how come I didn't know about this? I'm like, if it was serious and I needed stitches or something, like, don't you think I would have told you? But I'm walking in Williamsburg down the street, and a lot of townhomes or townhouses in Williamsburg, and this family's like kind of sitting outside with their dog on a leash, like a ratty white, like. I hate those dogs. I'm sorry. If anyone out there has those dogs, I can't stand them.
Ratty white
You know
dog?
what I'm talking about? Just those like.
Is that the breed? Or
I mean, anyone hearing that could sort of like envision what I'm talking about. Like it's just like a not well groomed, like just got the crust around the eyes, like really just like honestly, I hate to say it, a gross looking dog.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Walking down the sidewalk, they're holding the dog on a leash.
Like the dog in Daddy's Home, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if you've seen Daddy's Home, that's the dog. That's the type of dog that I saw. I'm walking down the sidewalk. It's on the leash, but the family's having their own conversation. So the dog's just like doing its own thing, but on the leash.
Yeah.
The dog is blocking the sidewalk, so I have to go around the dog or step over the dog, which I would never do. So I go around the dog, and it just attacks me. It like latches onto the side of my leg. It felt like I've never been bit by a snake, but it felt like a snake, like just sinking their teeth into your skin. Started bleeding. You'd be really proud of the way I handled it, though. I'm gonna say that again. You'd be really proud of the way I handled it, though, because
you killed the dog.
No. We don't hurt animals.
You kicked the dog.
No.
Okay. So what'd you do?
It's because if I was my father, a whole scene would have gone down. It would have been bad. Am I wrong? You get bit by a dog, you're telling me that you're not making a scene?
I probably would have stomped on the dog.
Exactly. Like you would have made a scene, it would have been bad. I keep walking I'm like, I'm going to walk this off because if I linger, it's probably going to get worse for them because I'm going to ask some questions about their insurance, their dog, you know, and then if they were really not cool, like that's where a possible lawsuit could come into play, right? So I'm just like, I'm going over all the things and I'm like, you know what? I have a dinner to get to. I'm just going to keep walking. Okay. And as I'm walking down the street, they're like almost trying to get me to come back. They're like, are you okay? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. And like, next thing you know, I'm like kind of lingering now because they want to speak with me and ask if I'm okay. And at one point, I just look at them. I go, guys, I really should walk away because it's just going to get really bad. I was like, I think it's better if I walk away.
So the bite couldn't have been too bad if you're just walking away from it.
No, I have a scar now, and it was really bloody, and it hurt for a while. Hurt for a couple hours. Then we went and got drinks and it went away. But
does it hurt as much as getting a big tattoo on your arm?
No. It hurt a lot more, actually. Tattoo doesn't compare.
Would you like to show everyone your tattoo?
Nah, it's not fresh yet. It's fresh yet? I'm taking off the wrap later.
Looks good, Max.
First arm tattoo, kind of crazy.
I love how you're starting to paint your body a little bit. It's kind of interesting.
You like it?
Yeah, I don't mind.
We've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, but now it just seems like a lot more is coming. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, because we've talked about this on the podcast before. I don't really get that from anyone in the family. It's really my own.
It's not my doing. That's for sure.
It's not Mom's doing. It's not Ryan's. I don't know. I kind of always liked the look of tattoos. Mm-hmm. I've kind of always thought people who had tattoos were like sort of like trying to express something without expressing something. And like, so my girlfriend seems to think that like I inadvertently draw attention to myself. She says it's not a bad quality at all. She's like, I see the way you walk around the street and like people want to interact with you. They want to be in your like.
That's why that guy punched you in the stomach.
Right, in the subway. And like, that's why I get bit by dogs, like, but she was saying, it was actually really sweet. She was trying to say that like, it seems like people like want to be in your world. And she's like, I see it happen all the time. The tattoo thing though, I'm actually not trying to do that, but it is a really like to draw a comparison to that. It is a great conversation starter. I always ask people about their tattoos now.
So I have a question for you. Yeah. So what happens? Let's just say, and sure. I won't be here for it, but what happens when you're 70 years old, and what if you don't like one of your tattoos?
Well, by then I will have had it for probably over 20 or 30 or 40 years. Yeah. Honestly, it's not about like the liking of the tattoo. Like truly, I think that I'm going to have some favorite tattoos over other tattoos. Like I already have like some favorites.
Right, but what if you get to an age where you're like, what the fuck did I do to my body?
No, I don't think, and I think I mentioned this before, I don't think it will be that way because all the tattoos I get throughout my life, like they will have been relevant, if not for my entire life, at one point in my life. And it'll make me, I'll draw back to that time in my life. Like each tattoo, I could tell you where I was, who I was with, like probably the month / time of year.
What it represents. And
there's always a great memory or story to go with it. And I think that's really cool in itself. I think tattoos are really cool for a lot of different reasons. Like, I personally love, like I said, the way they look. Everything I just listed, I love about them. Right. And then also, I love that, like, it's almost like pictures can tell stories and memories and whatnot, but I think so can tattoos. And I think like having them like literally a part of you is like different than any sort of picture you can take, experience you could have. It's like it's permanent. It's there.
Yeah, I agree with you. But a picture is something you can put away. And a tattoo is really, and look back at a tattoo is something like every day you look in the mirror, brush your teeth, and it's there.
Yeah, and I do a little this, do a little,
You flex the muscle, see how it get
honestly
bigger.
just like the way they look. I've already said this, and my mind won't change on this, although my mind's already changed on some other things as it pertains to tattoos. I won't like get sleeves. I don't want to like cover my entire body in tattoos. Like I like the way my body looks without tattoos, So my thought is I just want to get some that A, mean something to me first and foremost, look cool. I like the way they look on my body, whether I'm like wearing a certain outfit or doing a certain activity. Like, I think there's a look.
I'll tell you, there's a great TV show that was on CBS years ago called Without a Trace.
Oh.
And my buddy Hank.
Yeah.
Well, not my buddy Hank, but he was like my grade school buddy Hank. Yeah. He actually created it.
Oh, really?
And there was a somewhat big actor in it. His name is Anthony LaPaglia.
Okay.
And he's an Italian actor. He's fantastic, and he's a big. Years ago he was a big cyclist.
Oh, would he come into the store?
Yeah, he would come in the store. We'd sit there, he just tells stories, and we got along so great. And I remember one day he comes in, and in this Without a Trace, he plays like an FBI guy looking for people who have gone without a trace. And he comes in his cycling kit, and he is all tatted up.
Really?
And I'm just like, Anthony. I'm like, I'd never fucking know this by watching you on CBS. And he's like, aren't suits and long sleeve shirts fantastic? I said, yeah. I said, who would have known that you were you look like this underneath? And, so I knew him for a couple of years, and he kind of disappeared from the store. But I was sitting at, I was in Malibu once at a playground. And you sit around the sandbox while all your kids are in the sandbox. It's a big sandbox, and you were always out there climbing all over the place at the Country Mart in Malibu. And I'll never forget, and there were always celebrities sitting around with their kids. And Anthony, he's wearing a big fur coat. I don't know what month it was. He's wearing a big fur coat, and he goes up to Adam Sandler, and he starts talking to him. And Adam Sandler looks at him like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And he's like wearing these big glasses and everything. And he's like, he takes off the glasses. He's like, it's me. It's Anthony. He's like, oh, how the fuck am I supposed to know? You look like a criminal. Yeah. Very funny.
But the last thing I want to say on the whole tattoo thing is what I like too is that they're super personal.
Sure.
Like, the only person that has to like the tattoo at the end of the day is like me. And like, I said they're cool, but they're not really like, that's not like my main goal with them. Like, I could cover them up whenever I want. And what else? The other thing I really love is that I also love that, like, when I meet someone, like this just happened. Like, I'll meet someone and then we'll somehow get into a conversation about tattoos. And like, they'll often say like, wow, that, like, you do not strike me as someone who would get tattoos. And like, at the back of my mind, I'm like, is that sort of like a backhanded compliment almost? Because I'm like, what do you envision someone who has tattoos to be like? Because back in the day, before my time,
there's a stigma about it. Absolutely.
Right. But among like people my age, it's so like normal now. Yes. Whereas like, to me, I think someone saying that at my age is actually kind of strange, because I'm like, that means you still feel a certain way about tattoos. Whereas like, they're really normal. They're really normal. Like Ben Affleck's got like a bunch of tattoos. He doesn't strike me as someone at all.
I know. I saw that recently.
Walker Buehler, former Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher. He now plays for the Red Sox. He has this huge back tattoo. You would never, like, looking at this guy, you would never expect it. You never even sense that he's like into that whole thing. But I don't know. I really like him.
Your mother and you don't know, but I have a tramp stamp.
What?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Get out of here. But Dad's going to get a tattoo. Comment down below if you want Dad to get a tattoo. No, he does want one. He's talked about it for a while.
I'm going to get a Grateful Dead tattoo.
Definitely.
Let's definitely have to.
What about a Pink Floyd one with me?
Maybe. I don't know.
You should.
Everyone thinks that Roger Waters is anti-Semitic. So I don't
oh
know
my
if that's
gosh! Not going to name. We're not going to name who, but I had a family friend get like pretty amped up about my Pink Floyd tattoo and was like, really? Like, he's anti-Semitic. I said, not the whole band, buddy. Just like Roger.
Yeah. I can imagine who it was.
Yeah, which I'll cut, but yeah.
probably gets it from his mother. That's
Oh,
what I guess.
no. It was his mother.
Oh, it was his mother.
No, he doesn't give a shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's not a big fan. I've tried to get her to come to Pink Floyd cover bands. She's like, not gonna happen.
Which is so weird because it's not Pink Floyd. It's him.
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
Roger.
She
Whatever.
doesn't like the music. Who knows?
Who knows?
People, different strokes. People are weird about all different things, right? I mean,
Yeah, they are.
It's not my place to tell you what you can and cannot be or have a beef about.
Right.
You gotta leave that shit alone.
So this, some current events. This shooting in New York's really, really odd. First shooting in mass shooting in New York City in like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole thing is so frightening.
Sure.
It was almost like the guy raced to New York to do this. He drove cross country in 4 days, which is like super fast to travel across the country, and he knew exactly where he wanted to go.
You really want to have this conversation?
Yeah, I thought it was. I just thought, I do want to have the conversation because I don't like the fact that, of course, it's like already political because it always will be. But
actually, this one hasn't been too political, but you can put politics in it. Like, he knew he had mental health issues, yet he's still walking around with guns.
Yeah, and
how did he
whoever.
get them?
But
like,
exactly,
crazy.
I don't think. That just opens up a totally other conversation because, it's unfathomable that someone with documented mental health issues or
can get a gun.
Conditions can purchase a gun.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
among all the other things that I'm just scratching my head at, like.
Yeah, and what's happening is I guess he killed himself by shooting himself in the chest.
Did he leave a note?
Instead of the head? Yes, and he said, please check my brain for CTE, because he thinks he was banged up pretty badly in high school. And he went to high school out here in Granada Hills.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's very upsetting. And your sister texted me today while I was on my bike ride, and she's like, wow, that's pretty scary. I said, yeah, it is. And whether he was going to the NFL office or not, I have no idea.
We'll never know.
I don't know.
We'll never know.
But yeah, I said to your sister, I said, it's quite fascinating. I said, what's really crazy is that this is America that we live in. And I said, and it might upset some people here, but the Republicans don't mind touching the Constitution when it comes to certain things, but they won't touch the Constitution when it comes to gun control, which I think is very fascinating. Because they're really, he's kind of gutting the Constitution as it is. We know this is happening, but they're not going to touch gun control.
Silly.
So, it's scary, and you know what? You just hope you're not a part of it. Going not to give anyone ideas, but we had this conversation in Central Park a couple of weeks ago, because we were at a Grateful Dead cover band.
Oh, yeah, at the Namberg Band Shell. Great spot.
And you had said to me, what would you do if gunshots rang out? And I pointed to an area that I would run to. And I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days, about Golden Gate Park. Like, what would you do? What would you do?
Just run. Just run.
Yeah.
The fact that there were people, around the building, if you look at the cameras and footage that they've released, there's just people hanging around. Did no one clock? I sound like Justin Bieber. Did no one clock that this guy was holding this huge rifle in broad daylight? Did no one look at that and go, "What the hell is going on?" and immediately run away?
I don't know, but I don't. What is a bystander? I mean, I hate to sound.
No, they're not going to do anything. But I'm saying, why
do?
would I'm saying if someone had seen that.
But you see people in the background when he's walking through the outside.
That's exactly
area.
what I'm saying.
Right.
How did no one just look and be
I'm
"Is he
sure
holding
they
a gun?"
did, but what are you possibly going to do if you're not armed?
Immediately run away and go to the nearest precinct and be
sure
"I just
people
saw."
were. I'm sure people were. Did you see this? Oh, God, I can't believe we're talking about this. You see this stabbing at the Walmart?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
And there's a great video
Of people trying to stop the guy.
This one older guy
yeah.
stopping him, and and it's like a fucking hero. But that's a knife. Yeah, I think you could stop a guy with a knife.
And what's interesting though about what you just said? Also in that video, there is someone armed, protecting the people being stabbed. So that like begs the question where it's like, is that a situation where like, yeah, a gun would need to come into play? Like, I don't know. This is why it's so tough. This is why it's so tough.
New York, very liberal state, there's no open to carry or anything, right? So would you say moving forward, maybe you should be able to hold a gun just in case some idiot with a rifle comes?
Well, it's interesting because I had a friend, we were talking about this today, and he was like, isn't it interesting? He's like, how normally where these mass shootings normally happen are in states that have very loose gun laws. He's like, so you got to wonder, he's like, why does it not normally happen in states?
But New York State doesn't have a loose gun law.
This is what I'm saying. He's like, so you got to wonder why it happened in New York. Like, he's like, we'll never know if it was actually like linked to the NFL offices or whatever. He's like, but the fact of the matter is this guy went from a loose,
Yes.
gun law state
Yes.
to a super strict gun law state.
Right.
And, committed this heinous act. So he basically was just begging the question, like, how, like why? Why? That's really interesting.
So had he opened fire someplace in Nevada,
you'd be like, oh, possible bystander.
And a bystander could have put a cap in his ass and stopped it right away.
Exactly.
Maybe.
This is why this is tough. This is why this conversation is so tough, because like I don't believe in like, you shouldn't own, like, why should you own a gun, right? Like, why?
Listen, I agree.
But then
I agree.
the latter is you should own a gun for situations like this, where if you are protecting yourself or someone else from being in harm, like.
But if nobody can have a gun, then you really have no reason to ever have to protect yourself like that. You might get your ass kicked.
Right.
You never have to pull out a gun because the other person doesn't have a gun. It's like my mother and I talk about this, like in the 1950s or in like West Side Story. It's like you either fight or, and then they bring out the knife, but there's no guns.
Well, this is why in like the UK or specifically like England, they have no gun problems. Right. Zero, none at all. But they actually do have knife problems.
Knife problems.
People are walking around with machetes, stabbing people. Like, there's stabbings. The way we have mass shootings here, they have stabbings over there. So it's like, would that really do anything?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I don't know.
The gun is designed to a lot of guns out there, which I don't agree with. Like, they're designed for mass killing. I mean, how does a person have the opportunity to buy something like that
at Walmart?
Yeah,
crazy. At Walmart.
I wonder if Walmart. You know what? I should go to a Walmart out of state and purchase a gun.
No, but that's what happens. Is these people that literally how this happens is like, it's that easy. It's easier to buy a gun than it is to buy weed.
And your governor is freaking out because your governor in New York is freaking out because the guy was able to purchase it in Nevada, no questions asked, and then bring it into a state where we ask a lot of questions.
Right. Super weird.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's kind of what my friend was saying. He's like, kind of weird.
Welcome to America. And I'm not, I was telling Ryan, I don't blame Trump's America on this. I don't, because this
it's been happening forever.
It's been going on forever. And it's very unfortunate. And, they just, nobody wants to do anything about it. So, you know what? People keep dying. Friends, family members, sons, daughters, they'll keep dying. And it is what it is. And you know what? I hope it never happens to anyone in my family. And if it does, it's very unfortunate.
So I was upstate. We were driving around, and we were driving around upstate in a couple different areas like the Berkshires and upstate New York, and we were driving through some towns, and I was like, if a civil war broke out or like an apocalypse, this is probably a town I'd want to be in. Like, these seem like towns that would really stick together and be like, no. No one's coming in and no one's going out. Like Willy Wonka. No one ever comes in.
Yeah.
No one ever comes out. No, because some of these towns just seem like uber safe. But you know what? They probably all own guns. They probably all have, their own agendas. And...
You know what?
It's weird.
They're in these little cities, even in little towns, even upstate New York, they don't like the city dwellers coming to their town.
No, they don't.
I used to work with a guy who I was always telling him about riding in Marin County, and he went into northern Marin County once, and they rode bikes a little bit. He's like, he's like, Adam, I felt so out of place there. And he's Filipino. And he's like, I just felt so out of place. And he's like, and I've ridden through towns in like northern Marin County where I'm like, wow, this is crazy that people live like this. And quite shocking to me. But I'll tell you, Max, you know, your mother, we were three of us on the couch the other night, and you guys are asking me some questions about San Francisco and Mill Valley. And I was telling you guys, I have a plan. I have to wait for some people to leave, but I have a plan, and my plan is to go to one of those towns eventually.
But not
I
for
definitely
good.
want to.
Not for good. Not
I
for
don't
good.
know. I don't know. I mean, as I get older, it has to be close to a hospital and a good doctor.
Right.
But I want to get out of the big cities. That's for sure.
You know what you should do? You should get a Sprinter van. Put your bike in it.
Yeah.
Just travel up and down America. Like, there's so much to see in America, I've realized. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot I want to see in America. There's a lot I want to see abroad as well. Like, there's so many places I haven't been. But, like, America is just like, it's right here. And clearly, you can just drive through these states with literally anything. So, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do have a plan.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I have some friends who I think are, like, if they don't end up having kids or even getting married, even if they do get married, don't have kids, I think some of them might kind of do that for like a little while, a couple years, just live on the road. I don't think I could. I'd like to travel that way. I think that'd be cool to like travel like that for a week. But I have some friends who I think they would just do that.
I have a friend who's 73 years old. He goes on big motorcycle trips. When I say big, like he'll go 1,200 miles, 1,300 miles in like a week. And he'll camp out on hammocks. Wow. He has a hammock. He'll put the hammock between two trees. And he recently bought a Sprinter van. And when I tell you, this guy, like, he used to be the unit production manager on Miami Vice back in the day in the 80s. And he also bought a ton of Apple stock when Apple first came about.
So he's doing well.
He's doing well. He's a great guy. I used to bike ride with him a lot. He recently bought, like I said, a Sprinter van, and he drove to the Arctic Circle. And I was texting him. He was sending me pictures, and it's on his social media page on Instagram. And he was literally in the Arctic Circle. He's like, it's light all day long. You know, like it was pretty. Some of these pictures are pretty wild. He spent a lot of time in Alaska, and
Alaska
it was just,
freaks me out.
Yeah, and it was just like a
freaks me out.
great. You know, it's just looked like such a great trip. I think he went for like 6 weeks, and he's. I think he's definitely sleeping in the van. I don't know where he showered, if it was nice and cold out, but he also posted some pictures. I don't know where he was, but he was vlogging, and he said that he's like, well, I'm parked here. I'm going to stay here for the night. He's like, a blizzard is supposed to come in.
Whoa.
And he's like, so we'll see what it's like in the morning. And then like the video comes up in the morning. He's like, well, there's about 8 feet of snow on the ground. His truck is just buried in the snow, and he's so happy. And I'm like, wow. So shout out Bob, man. You fucking rock.
Bob, you rock.
This episode is sponsored by Helen Cycles, taking good care of people and their bikes since 1936. Serving Southern California with locations in Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach, with brands like Trek, Santa Cruz, Pinarello, and Colnago. We'll see you on the bike.
A lot's happened since the last time we've recorded. It's been a few weeks. A lot of people died. Ozzy Osbourne died.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan died.
Hulk Hogan.
Like
a real American.
I am a real. That song's so good, honestly. So good.
Yeah.
Especially, have you ever listened to it with just the just the words?
Yes.
And then the music comes in.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah, no, that's pretty wild that he died. You know, 71 years old. It's really sad.
And his contributions.
He was a hero to so many people about eating your vitamins and saying your prayers and
he changed the business.
And he changed the business for sure. You know, we've mentioned this once before on the podcast, but I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I was at the first WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden where Hulk Hogan and Mr. T fought Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Wow.
Quite an amazing show.
Wow.
And he was big then, but right before that.
Yeah.
Man, when he came, I wasn't really paying attention to him, but he came out in Rocky 3 as Thunderlips.
Yeah.
With Stallone, and
wow.
man,
Changed everything.
It just WWE just blew up. WWF at the time just blew up after that. I mean, put wrestling on the map, put Terry Bollea, which is Hulk Hogan, on the map. I mean, unbelievable. And, I'll tell you, to watch Sylvester Stallone throw him out of the ring was one of the greatest things. And then, for, Rocky Balboa to say, hey, can we take that picture? He's like, oh, yeah, no problem. It was great.
Did you ever meet Hulk Hogan?
No, I've never met Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was pretty wild.
You know what I'd like to do tonight? I would really like to go home.
Yeah.
I think if my wrestling knowledge is correct, and I really hope it is, someone might have to correct me or fact check me. I think it's WrestleMania 17.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan, like NWO Hollywood Hulk Hogan, versus The Rock.
Yes.
I want to watch that match. It's a match I've never watched before.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it.
But since he's passed, Hogan's passed in like the last week, I've just seen that clips from that match everywhere.
Yeah.
People talking about like why it was such a monumental shift.
He basically handed the baton over to
right, and I kind of want to see that.
Dwayne Johnson.
And apparently, going into the match, like Hogan was a huge heel, Rock was a huge babyface, but the crowd dictated the direction that match was going to go in from a story standpoint. Apparently, The Rock was always going to win the match. That was always the plan.
Right,
but Hogan was the babyface in the match, and The Rock was the heel. Mm-hmm. The whole the fans just flipped it because they were like, and it was his last match. It was Hogan's last match in WWE. It was like his last match in WWE. Mm-hmm. Really handed the baton off, but I've never seen it. I want to watch it tonight.
We can watch that tonight. Sure.
I think it'd be so cool.
As we're cooking chicken thighs and making a salad.
After that. I'm really excited for that. And Ozzy Osbourne, that one really threw me for a loop because I've just, I'm not a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, but like I've always known of his stuff. I know his music well, and I know his family. Like they got that aura about him.
I appreciate what he did for that genre of rock. I definitely
Prince of Darkness. He's so cool.
And do you remember on your DJ show at school?
Get out of my brain. I was just about to say this.
I played you "Ordinary Man."
What an amazing song!
He had some incredible ballads.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't give a shit about him eating, ripping the bats off of, with his teeth.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff was cool, and he had a pretty decent family life because he did that whole reality show. Yeah, she's great.
Love Sharon.
She's great. It's very sad.
Sharon!
It's very sad. I saw today on Instagram, and I hope it's not AI. I don't think it is. That Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney, they did a duet together at his funeral.
Oh, really?
It
could be AI.
It could be. I'll
take a look.
Okay, so let's go. Wait,
but I just want to say that "Ordinary Man." I forgot how much I love that song, and I forgot how much I loved it, and then it actually popped up on a playlist like a couple days after he died, and I was wow, what a freaking song. And the way he sings about the way he kind of wants to be remembered, totally going to be remembered.
Yeah.
The whole song is literally about not wanting to die, just this ordinary guy.
And it's interesting because he had that concert 2 weeks before, and he knew he was dying. Supposedly he knew he was dying. He needed to do the show.
His last show in Birmingham, England. That place was rocking.
It's really sad, and but it also goes to show you drugs and rock and roll and all that stuff. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. 76 years old, led a great life.
Did he die of Parkinson's disease?
I think so.
He had Parkinson's for sure. I don't know if he died of that, but he had Parkinson's.
Very sad.
So AI, you want to say something?
AI. So we had a conversation way back at the beginning of this venture that we're doing, and you
pretty much a year ago, by the way.
And you had said something like, well, it's not going to look that good in my lifetime. Do you recall this conversation?
Yeah, I still believe it.
Okay, but have you seen the videos coming out in the past? I mean, a lot of them are starting to say this is just AI, but
as
do you
it should.
see? Yes,
as it should.
But do you see how good the videos are getting? It is so scary.
Yes and no. I think people my age, in my age range who sort of like live on the internet, like we can tell a lot
I can
easier
tell the difference. I can tell the difference because I'm unfortunately on social media way too much. But there's a certain quality to it. But that quality has gotten so much better recently. Like, did you see the one with Obama being arrested in the Oval Office?
No.
And Trump just sitting in the other seat? I mean, yeah, it doesn't look great, but like it looks much better than it would have looked 5 weeks ago.
I mean, the
and in
advancements
5 weeks from now, it's going to be insanely much better.
The advancements are crazy, that's for sure. And like, you know, I've started using Google Gemini more because supposedly like Google Gemini is a lot better for actually like helping you do things, whether it be like writing stuff or putting together documents, spreadsheets. Whereas like ChatGPT could be just used as a great like conversation as well as a great sort of search engine. Like if I have something like not necessarily like like you can't look for articles on there. That's not what I mean by search engine. I'm more so like, hey, can you tell me the last time the New York Yankees won the World Series? And they'll tell me like that, you know. Whereas like I'm not as quick now to go to Google and ask them those types of questions. But if I'm like trying to make a spreadsheet or sort of like craft an email, you know what I'll do? It's terrible. But like if I just like really don't, I know what I want to say, but I don't really know what I want to say. And I also just don't, I have so many other things going on. I don't want to sit and type it. I'll like receive an email. I will then copy and paste the email I receive and say to Google Gemini, I'll say, can you write a really compelling, heartfelt response based on like this, and that as it pertains to this email I received? And in a matter of seconds, it'll spit it out. And like I'll have to revise a few things to make it sound like a little more in my tone.
So I've been reading a lot that AI is dumbing down.
Say that one more time. I've been reading a lot.
I've been reading a lot lately. The AI is dumbing down how we think, how humans think, because we don't have to think anymore. And it's like, and even with typing in a question on Google, you still have to kind of search for it a little bit, But with ChatGPT, you just ask the question, and it just spits it right back. There's no research involved. There's nothing, and it's kind of fascinating. I'm not using AI. I don't know if I have any reason to at this point in my life, but I use ChatGPT to kind of get, to ask questions. Yeah. So I'm not sitting there typing, so they're saying that that's kind of dumbing down the human being. And, and I'm not, I don't really know. Well, listen, I don't know if I'm listening to the experts. It's not Sam Altman telling me this, in a video. But, there are certain things about AI that I'm definitely enjoying. And there are other things that are just downright like, I don't know if it's necessary. I had a conversation with ChatGPT a couple nights ago. Your mother walked in. She's like, who are you talking to?
Oh, right.
And, and I was asking ChatGPT, like it was a question of, because I was watching something on TV, and it's like I was asking the question, like, how do societies become powerful? And it spoke about the Roman Empire becoming powerful because they developed basically what is the road, how we travel. Yeah. And then I asked, so what comes next? They're like, well, the British basically created the Navy, which means, they created more ships. Right. And so I said, what comes after the British? And then they talk about the Industrial Revolution and that America was on top of that. And I said, so what's next? And they're like, technology. And I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, and who's going to take that over? And they're like, China.
Oh, interesting.
And your mother walked in and she's like, are you seriously having a conversation with a computer? And I said, yeah. I said, I think this is what it's for. I don't know. I mean, listen, there's no one else in my life I could have spoken to about this subject, and I don't know if if ChatGPT is giving me all the correct information.
Could be feeding you bullshit.
But there is, look, there is no one in my life who could have that conversation, and it was just a stoner thought because I was watching something on TV, so I paused the TV.
Interesting.
And I start, and the only other person I could have spoken to about this is My dad,
I'm right here.
10 or 15
Literally
years ago.
Here. You could.
But I can't talk to my dad about this stuff anymore.
Talk to me about it.
No, I couldn't have.
What? Because we do have to wrap up. What? I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend? And don't obviously you can't say the whole thing,
Yeah, you know what? It's a fantasy of mine, and I hope it happens. And I think it will happen, but it's going to happen in certain places in San Francisco. Again, I wasn't there,
right?
But I'm hoping I'm transported back to the '60s. And again, I wasn't there in the '60s. I was born in '69, but I've been to enough Grateful Dead shows in the '80s that I have an inkling of what that looks like, because
and what does it look like?
In '85 we are 15 years removed.
Right.
From
so what does that look like?
What does it look like? It looks like
community?
A lot of hippies. It looks like big community. It looks like, unfortunately, a lot of dirty people, barefoot. They're just dirty.
I'll be barefoot.
They're just dirty.
I'll be barefoot.
And people, selling drugs, people selling, cool stuff that they make, coasters, merchandise, T-shirts, grilled cheese sandwiches. I'm so looking forward to that, because, in this world that we live in, we're just killing ourselves. Every day we're killing ourselves, whether I'm killing myself at work or whether fucking Israel's killing the Palestinians, okay? So I want to go here, and I want peace, love, and happiness. I don't want to think about anything. I want to enjoy the music. I want to enjoy my family, and that's it.
Amen. Amen.
So, yeah.
This was awesome. We'll have to do this again in the studio. Please comment, subscribe, send it off to friends, and follow us on Instagram at Things You Should Ask Your Dad.
I love you, Max.
I love you too, Dad. Let's go make a feast. We'll see you next time.